The deepest truth about babies is this: they do not wait for words to ask for love. They ask with their eyes, their hands, their cries, their smiles, and the way their whole body reaches for you before language ever arrives. A baby looks for your face. A tiny hand lifts toward you. The mouth tightens when you step away. The body softens when you come back. A little sound comes out, then pauses, as if waiting for your answer. None of that is random. Before babies can say, "Hold me," "Stay with me," or "Love me," they are already asking in the only language they have, with the body, with timing, with attention, with need. And once you see that, so many moments stop looking like just baby behavior. They start looking like early love bids, small, constant, wordless attempts to pull you into connection. Harvard describes this kind of back and forth as serve and return. When a baby cries, babbles, gestures, or looks, and an adult responds with eye contact, words, or a hug, those exchanges help build the brain circuits for communication and social connection. UNICEF describes the same basic idea. When babies signal and adults respond, children learn they are noticed, and their brain development is supported through that relationship. If you care about the hidden emotional logic behind your baby's behavior, subscribe to Baby Cues Decoded, where we decode the signals babies send long before they have words. Because some of the most important things babies tell us are easy to miss if we only listen for language. And the earlier we learn to read them, the more clearly love starts to move both ways. A baby's real smile is not just joy. It is often an invitation. Stay here with me. When babies begin giving real social smiles, they are not only showing that something feels good, they are also checking what happens next. Will you smile back? Will your face light up too? Will this good feeling become shared? That is why a baby's smile can be one of the earliest ways they ask for love without words. Not by begging for comfort, but by opening a door and waiting to see if you step through it. Healthy Children says that when parents respond quickly and enthusiastically to a baby's smiles, babies learn 3 things: that they matter, that they can trust you, and that they have some influence in their world. That makes the smile more than cute. It makes it relational. So when your baby smiles and then watches your face, they are not only expressing happiness, they are asking, "Will you stay in this moment with me?" When your baby keeps looking for your face, they are not only checking where you are, they are checking whether connection is still alive. Some babies do this in obvious ways. They stare right at you. They turn when they hear your voice. They pause and search your expression before they settle. Others do it more subtly, glancing back just long enough to make sure the relationship is still there. CDC says that by around 4 months, many babies look at you, move, or make sounds to get or keep your attention. That matters because attention itself is one of the first currencies of love. Before babies can ask for reassurance with words, they often ask first with a gaze. They are not just locating you in the room. They are locating themselves inside the bond. And that is why a baby who keeps searching for your face is often saying something very deep, very early, and very simple. Are you still with me? When a baby reaches to be picked up, they are not only asking for arms, they are asking to be gathered back in. Sometimes it looks like lifted hands. Sometimes it is the whole body leaning toward you. Sometimes it is not even a clear reach at all, just a body that changes direction the moment you come close, as if it already knows where it wants to go. Adults often hear this as dependency, but babies often mean something more basic than that. Bring my body back into safety. Bring me back into regulation. Bring me back into something that can hold me together from the outside until I can settle again from the inside. Healthy Children says babies give us the most important information about how they like to be held, talked to, and comforted. In other words, the reach is not random. It is information. It is preference. It is communication before speech. And sometimes, when a baby reaches for you, that is love in one of its purest early forms. Please come close enough to help me feel like myself again. Sometimes a baby asks for love most clearly when you leave, because protest is often the body's way of saying, bring the bond back close. This is one of the hardest love bids for parents to sit with, because it rarely looks beautiful in the moment. It looks like crying at the doorway. It looks like clinging at bedtime. It looks like panic when you disappear and softening when you come back. But that does not automatically mean your baby is being difficult. Very often, it means attachment is speaking loudly. Healthy Children describe separation anxiety as entirely normal behavior and even a beautiful sign of a meaningful attachment. They also note that in the second half of the first year, babies may cry anxiously for one or both parents and often show a strong preference for one. So when your baby cries as you leave and relaxes when you return, it is not always misbehavior. Sometimes it is one of the clearest ways a baby says, without words, don't let the connection go too far away. When your baby babbles and waits, they are not only practicing sound, they are asking, will you answer me back? A baby coos, then babbles, then pauses. And that pause matters, because very often the baby is not making noise into empty space. They are leaving room for you. They are testing whether this can become a real exchange. CDC says that by around 6 months, many babies take turns making sounds with you. Harvard describes this kind of back and forth as classic serve and return. The baby vocalizes, the adult responds, and those repeated exchanges help build the brain circuits for communication and social connection. So when your baby babbles, pauses, watches, and tries again, that is not just early speech practice. It is conversation before language. And sometimes it is one of the clearest ways a baby says, I am here. Will you meet me here too? Sometimes a baby asks for love not by asking to be held, but by asking you to help them touch the world. This is one of the most overlooked love bids of all. A baby wants the toy, the spoon, the face across the room, the thing just beyond reach. They fuss, they kick, they call out, not only because they want the object, but because they need you to help bridge the distance between them and the world. Healthy Children describes babies between about 4 and 7 months as increasingly eager to reach out and touch everything, and notes that when they cannot do it alone, they may demand help. After you help, they often turn back toward you, smiling, laughing, babbling, and imitating. So this is not always just, get that for me. Sometimes it is something deeper. Help me reach. Help me succeed. Help me feel that the world can open because you are with me. When a baby melts in your arms after distress, that is not only relief, it is one of the clearest ways a baby says, "Your love still works on me." The body softens, the face changes, the breathing slows, the cry loses its edge. Something that looked scattered begins to come back together. That shift matters, because what the baby is showing in that moment is not only that the problem is over, they are showing that you became part of the way back. UNICEF advises parents to notice what babies do, and when they cry, gesture, or babble, to respond with a hug, eye contact, or words. UNICEF explains that these responses help build connection and support the neural connections involved in communication and social skills. So when your baby falls apart and then softens in your comfort, that is not random calming. It is one of the earliest ways a baby says, without words, "I can come back through you." These are not random baby habits. They are early relationship behaviors. A smile, a reach, a cry at separation, a babble that waits for your reply, a body that softens when you come close. All of these can be ways a baby asks for love before language arrives. And what they are really asking for is not only attention, they are asking for response, for emotional organization, for shared experience, for the repeated proof that connection works. Harvard's Serve and Return framework says these responsive exchanges are essential for building and strengthening the neural connections that support communication and social skills. These are not just cute moments, they are the earliest architecture of trust. So what should parents do more of? Slow down enough to notice. Answer the smile. Answer the babble. Pick up the reach. Respect the protest. Become easier to read. Be warm. Be responsive. Be there in a way the baby can actually feel. UNICEF advises parents to notice what babies do and respond to cries, gestures, and babbles with a hug, eye contact, or words. Healthy Children also says that recognizing your baby's cues shows them that you value them and helps you learn how they like to be treated, held, and comforted. The more clearly you answer these bids for connection, the more your baby learns that love is not only felt, it is dependable. And for a baby, that lesson becomes part of everything. So the next time your baby smiles at you, reaches for you, cries when you leave, softens when you return, or babbles as if waiting for your answer, do not brush it off as random baby behavior. Sometimes your baby is not only needing care, sometimes your baby is asking for love in the only language they have, and long before they can say the words, they already know how to ask.